As many Americans know, accessing medical care can be incredibly stressful due to bills and other complications. This stress can be partially mitigated by insurance companies who assist in payments for medical treatments. Insurance plans, while generally costly, are currently being subsidized through the Affordable Care Act. However, as many as 10 million people have been excluded from accessing subsidized insurance plans due to their documentation status. A study by the Social Security Administration has demonstrated that undocumented immigrants contribute as much as $13 billion in taxes on a yearly basis. Considering this, and the fact that the Affordable Care Act is partially funded by taxpayer dollars, seems unjust, especially considering Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which states, any program funded by taxpayer dollars cannot discriminate against individuals on the basis of race, color, or national origin. On top of the financial stress, undocumented immigrants may also face legal repercussions and discrimination from healthcare professionals when seeking care. Some medical facilities require individuals to disclose their documentation status. For undocumented immigrants, sharing that information can be incredibly uncomfortable and, at times, costly because of the fear of said information being disseminated to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. If said information is leaked, undocumented immigrants could face detention and deportation, forcing them to leave their life here, as well as any family members who stay behind. This fear is compounded when faced with discrimination for their documentation status. As studies show, discrimination against undocumented immigrants in health settings exists at a serious degree. Considering all of this raises the question, do undocumented immigrants have reasonable access to health care? For the purpose of this study, reasonable access will be defined as the ability to access health care without severe financial and/or legal repercussions, and having access to medical care of equal quality available to citizens, residents, and documented immigrants. Looking first at financial ramifications, a Kaiser Family Foundation study found that 45% of undocumented immigrants were uninsured compared to 1 in 4 lawfully present immigrants and less than 1 in 10 citizens. This lack of health insurance can lead undocumented immigrants to financial ruin. Furthermore, it can lead individuals to put off seeking medical care until their condition or conditions worsen, or can lead them to avoid medical care altogether. In emergency situations, some may even be turned away because of their inability to pay, depending on the facility. Moving on to legal repercussions, the fear of detention and deportation amongst the undocumented community is highly prevalent. A study by Beck et al. Indicates the fear of detention and deportation may lead to the avoidance of seeking care and risk of severe health complications. This fear, by extension, also affects U.S.-born children of undocumented immigrants because medical facilities require information about the child's parent or guardian, which could potentially be leaked to ICE. It should be noted that the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, otherwise known as the HIPAA laws, do not allow the dissemination of information that could uniquely identify an individual if it was not related to their care. It has been under debate for some time whether or not documentation status falls under this category. Looking now at service quality, we can observe that there is a degree of discrimination against undocumented immigrants found in some medical facilities. If an undocumented immigrant experiences discrimination, it could erode their confidence in trusting the place they seek care in. According to a study by Hausman et al., discrimination could lead them to delay future medical care, lessen their utilization of preventative services, lessen their confidence in trusting physician recommendations or treatments, and lead them to seek alternative medical treatment. Overall, undocumented immigrants face a very different situation than citizens, residents, and documented immigrants. Costs which are not subsidized by federal assistance can be incredibly high and financially cripple individuals or families. Fear of legal repercussion and discrimination can force undocumented individuals to delay or outright avoid medical care. Since undocumented immigrants are taxpayers, their exclusion of the taxpayer-funded Affordable Care Act and the discrimination they face in medical settings conflicts with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. Additionally, the dissemination of their documentation status potentially conflicts with HIPAA law. Based on this information, I argue that undocumented immigrants do not have reasonable access to health care.